Björn, welcome back. Mareike, welcome at all. I'm really looking forward to that conversation because Björn told me your conference was really great. So he said he has a lot of questions, but maybe we can first introduce our guest.
That would be kind, right?
Yeah.
Would you
please.
be so kind? Would you be so kind? I mean, I was picking her up. Come on. Now it's your turn.
No, please introduce.
Okay. Yeah, we have here with us Mareike. Mareike is the digital product owner. And now I do it right from Veolia Water Technologies, based in Paris. So you are German, living in Paris, and welcome to the ACHEMA. Welcome to our small water show here. So yesterday, I was watching your, listening and as well watching your presentation. And I mean, you said something with membranes, and if someone says something about membranes, I wake up because I'm from the membrane business, right? So you said you have smart membranes. So my question really is, how smart are they membranes?
They are quite smart.
Okay.
So
they can talk to me with I have my mobile here, so they can send me a message like
they can send
Alexa?
you notifications on your phone. Yes, the application Smart Membranes is not yet mobile responsive, but you can access them on your laptop from anywhere. So it's an online platform. And
give us an insight. What kind of membranes we are talking about? Are we talking about any kind of membrane, any application, and what is the smart part?
So initially they were developed for a drinking water desalination plant in the municipal sector, but they have been adapted recently to fit the Sirion Mega, which is a standard product of Veolia Water Technologies, to produce purified water for pharmaceutical and industry processes. And what's smart, so there's different levels in the product. So there's first like the descriptive level, where you just see the process data that is gathered, and then you have the predictive layer that is the more smart part, and the algorithms. It's machine learning algorithms. So, but the first step is the normalization of the parameters, like differential pressure, flow, and salt rejection.
Okay.
And this is also a machine learning algorithm that's doing that. So it's not the standard formulas from the suppliers, but an algorithm that's really adapted to the specific site. And this alone, so the normalized parameters can give you a lot of insights already. And then the next step is to have the predictive layer that can trigger alarms. So it's the operator on site that sets the thresholds for those alarms, and then he will receive a notification if there's a clean in place to be performed or a membrane replacement.
So you have the platform in space where you get from the sensors all the data.
Yes.
Right, so you are allowed from the sensor companies, from the suppliers, to get the data, so how do you manage that? Because for me in the past, that was always the bottleneck, what I have seen, because every company wants to keep their own data. They don't want to give that out. And I think, let's say, if you have a pressurized transmitter over there, it's not a Veolia one, it's somewhere you have bought from the market, but you need to get all the data.
Yeah, so, but it's not connected to each single sensor. It's connected to the PLC on site. So
you're extracting data from the PLC, and then you're leveraging that data to make a smart system, which is a bit smarter than the PLC itself.
Yes, exactly. So
what is the problem which you're solving at first? If you just have to define one, the reason for smart membranes to exist.
It's the predictive maintenance, so the ability to schedule the maintenance beforehand and not to react, but be proactive, and to increase the lifetime of the membranes by avoiding too many chemical cleanings, and also to have reliability on to say when the membrane has to be replaced.
So basically, when you're the membrane guy, so you're gonna hit on me, but a membrane manufacturer claims the membrane is going to last between 7 and 15 years. You're ensuring that we are closer to the 15 than to the 7, which means a lot of savings on the total cost of ownership.
Yeah. So, but the problem with that is that we don't have underlying data to prove that yet, because the tool is new and we don't have the 15 years. But it's what we're aiming for. Yes.
When was the first installation?
The first pilot is Oman Sur, and not sure when they started, 2 or 3 years back, I think.
Okay, so now on, let's say you want to have a couple of these kind of installations with the smart membranes, you're collecting all the data, and then they can compare, right? So then you can say, well, this is working better than the other one, so we have to do something here, or maybe the process parameters are in a different way. That's how it works.
Yeah, but the algorithm has to be trained on each plant. So there's always an adaptation phase where the algorithms adapts to
and that's why it is just only for the drinking water, for the seawater desalination to create drink water, because it's somehow, I would not say the easiest, but let's say the most predictable application. Is that the reason?
I'm not sure why this site was chosen, but I think because it's a big site, they have a lot of membranes, so it's just more potential. The big desalination plants with don't know how many ROs. You have more potential in the savings if you can increase the membrane lifetime there. The savings will just multiply by the number of membranes. So.
And how does the membrane solutions, the smart membrane, integrate into your larger offering, which is Hubgrade?
Hubgrade, exactly. So we have the essential tool, Hubgrade Essential, which is the first point of contact. So that's the one that we can offer to all kinds of water applications. And then we have Hubgrade Performance with 2 modules, which is Hubgrade Performance Inside, and Smart Membranes is part of that. We also have Smart ActiFlow in this suite, and there is a SSO, so you have one sign-in to connect to both products, and we are working on integrating it even more so that the experience for the customer is as seamless as possible.
I mean, one of the biggest pains, let's say, all the customers have are the information, are the storage of the data. Right? Mm-hmm. So normally, let's say, if I would be your customer, I would be connected to Hubgrade. That means you take all my data, you store it somewhere. And that is especially, let's say, if I would say, well, I'm a pharmaceutical company, let's take the worst case. And I would be very scared about that.
You just lighted so many red lights in your questions. So many red lights. You store it somewhere. Okay. You take my data. Okay.
But wait. I mean, I learned here just 2 days ago that there is an initiative by Eurodat, which is by the European Union, and they launched in January the first European Data Trustee. So that means you can bring all your data to that platform, and you can ensure by the European trustee that nothing happened with the data. I mean, I'm not sure how that really helps, or let's say convince the people, but isn't that really the biggest pain, and how do you solve that with the Hubgrade solution?
So let me come back to the first, the red lights.
I think we should.
So, I mean, we're storing the data, but ownership is still with the customer. With the terms and conditions, we get the right to use the data. But the ownership lies with the customer. And then we have a very high level of cybersecurity end-to-end, so from the physical over network and platform security. We work only with certified partners, and the whole system is certified itself with the highest international standards like the ISO 27000.
Is it on-premise or is it in the cloud?
The
data is stored in the cloud, and then we also work with a very secure partner.
But wouldn't such an initiative, wouldn't that really help to win also the trust? I mean, I don't know where your cloud is. Most probably one of the bigs, right? Like Amazon or I don't know.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So, but let's say still, that's what I heard over the last years. Yeah, I don't want to give my data out, right? And if you say, well, we store them somewhere in the US, Amazon cloud servers, red flags, most, especially for sensitive industries.
And for regulation reasons.
Absolutely. So that's why I was thinking that's really such a cool idea if you have this kind of trustee, that you get connected with a trustee, that even that your clients get the trust and say, okay, I place my data there and Hubgrade is going there and get the data back. Wouldn't that be kind of good solution?
I think it depends on the customer what they put trust in. I mean, the international standards and audits that we do, it's as I've said, it's internationally accepted. But if you have a customer that only trusts a European solution, then maybe this would help. But I'm not sure that it's the case for a lot of customers. But I would have to look into the solution further.
I found that pretty cool.
To me, that's really a question mark, because you're creating an external data lake, so you're creating another third party when probably Veolia is maybe already building the plant or operating the plant, so it's already a party you trust. So I would rather stay with less players and then enhance data from those players than having an external party which can then supply that data to fourth party, even if it's controlled and still in Europe and whatever. It sounds to me like, unnecessarily complex.
Yeah, and I think also this what was it called? European data.
The European Data Trustee.
Okay. I mean, all they can do is also get certified and do audits in the end, I would say. So they have the same levers as we have in the end. So we have a cybersecurity specialist also working in our team, and I think he could answer probably better than me to that question.
It's more and more important that we have something like this in our companies, right?
You mentioned various levels of upgrades, and I'm curious about that upgrade essential, because we are at ACHEMA and we have to be realistic. It is not the most forward-looking industry. Don't take me wrong, I think that's for very good reasons, because you have to be conservative when you are touching some things which can be as critical as oil and gas, pharma, and these kind of applications. But I would, from my gut feeling, expect them to better react to a upgrade essential than an advanced one who starts telling them what they shall do. Is my gut feeling anywhere right, or?
I mean, smart membranes is really limited to the membranes application. So for the normal pharma customers, we are mostly offering upgrade essential, as you said. Yeah, but we still have for pharma customers, they often have this trust issues, I would say. So they don't want to give their data away, etc. And it's a lot of work to convince them. And it really depends on the customer, what's their background, how's the situation, also like the geological situation. Do they have teams on site? Do they have interest in remote monitoring? Because that's one of the big advantages, that you don't have to send someone on site. And if that's not the case, it's a hard sell to say you need this on top, especially because we're also offering the analog services, and Veolia Water Technologies is doing a good job there, and they don't see the point in changing from a service technician that is coming, that they maybe know for several years, that knows the plant, to switch to a digital tool.
How do you have to go to market today? You need to go proactive and to go to those customers and say, look, we could enhance you, or do they come to you and say, we do believe digital might be a solution and maybe you have something for us?
I think it's more that we approach them with the treatment equipment that we sell. We offer upgrades as a standard. So it's always included in the offers, and then we try to convince them of the advantages and of the value that this can bring to them.
One example you gave yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that it's part of the upgrade as well, is with the AR glasses,
yes.
Right? So I found that pretty interesting, because you said, well, there was, due to the pandemic, you had a project, I think, in Brazil.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong. There was a project in Brazil, and there was, I think, the installation or commissioning phase, and the team from Germany needs to help out, or from Europe, call it Europe. And so they were both connected with the AR glasses, and you could save 60% of the travel costs. That was a number, I remember that.
The cost, yeah.
So my question is, I mean, how much is it really, let's say, for future, or was it just due to the pandemic times? Do you see that really as a future model, part of upgrade that you deliver this with, that you can go on plan with the AR?
So I think the first point is they don't need to be connected with their data to use this augmented reality support. So this is the big point. And I think the pandemic was an accelerator on this. We had the solution before, but no one really, it's something new to learn, it's a new tool you have to get used to. And once they kind of were in the situation, they had to find something. They tested it, and they're pretty convinced now. They use it as often as they can, because all the travel reduction of costs, but also carbon footprint I mean, it's more sustainable not to take the plane to go somewhere, and they have really good results with that. Yeah.
But how does it work? I wasn't at the conference, so you have someone with the VR somewhere in Europe, and someone with a phone or with VR as well somewhere at the plant, and then communicate.
We call it remote life assistant, but it's augmented reality, so it's not like a 3D model or something that we use. It's as you said, it's a phone or smart glasses if the customer
like the Google
has it.
Glasses or something.
Yeah, exactly. And then the advantage is that the person that gives the support can see exactly what the operator sees and can then draw like a circle or an arrow to say, open this valve, look at this, read this value from the sensor, and then interact with the person, with the operator on site. And there's also some features included there to create like a manual from the support session and to go back to look at the videos, etc. So it makes it a lot easier to interact, because over phone it's hard to say turn exactly this valve.
I did this some years ago in India. I tried to have the installation.
I had that experience.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And we tried to do the commissioning because there was an issue, and he had a phone, I had a phone, and it was FaceTime, right? And I was thinking, okay, now you have to press this, but no, not this one. Take the other one. Oh no, this was it was so much pain.
Yeah, and the cool thing is that if you draw the circle around the specific valve, even if you move the phone, the circle stays around the valve. So you can really move around in this in the reality and have the information moving with it.
But isn't that just an in-between step towards the day where we can just actuate everything from any end of the world, which opens safety issues, I get it, but it sounds to me like you still need to have two humans, which is probably one too much.
Well, I mean, our tools are really there to support the operators on site. We were talking about the trust issue, so our data is going one directional from the site to us. The other way around, there you have even bigger problems with trust and with cybersecurity, because then you can remotely control the plant and you get hacked, then you really have a problem. So it might be in the future, I don't know, but I think it's still quite far away.
It's like playing computer, right? A little bit?
Yeah, I'm the best skateboarder in the world, you have to know that, just because since I'm that big, I'm playing Tony Hawk skateboarding on my PlayStation, so
a lot safer,
I guess
yes.
It's exactly the same, so I can now claim I'm an operator, because if I take some VR goggles, I can play, what is it called? Veolia 2022? Is it like FIFA? There's a new one every year, and then you can play. Oh, there was the wastewater treatment plant that wasn't existing before. Oh, that's cool.
Okay, now we have to prove that he's a crazy guy.
Well, I saw a presentation yesterday also on, I think it was from Siemens, where they use virtual reality to train operators in case of incidents, etc. And we don't have this yet, but I think for training it could be quite good.
Virtual reality for training. I have to show you something, Björn, later.
Okay, please do. I have to admit, I never had these kind of Google glasses or these kind of augmented reality on my head. Never ever.
We'll
I'm a little bit
that.
scared.
I'll show you.
Okay.
I saw some applications where they put the phone in like.
Yeah, I think there was the first version, right, where they had the glasses and then you put the iPhone into that.
Yeah.
Right. I think it was years ago, right?
It's not years ago. It depends on your budget.
Okay, if you have a small budget, then you have to. Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay.
He's rich. He doesn't know the struggles. So.
All right, that was pretty good, pretty interesting, Mareike. So, how do you see the future in terms of digitalization? What comes next?
Well, for us, we had quite a big project last year to change to a new user interface that is mobile responsive and that you can use from your tablet and phone, because we think that that's a important enabler for the operators on site. Not everyone has a laptop of his own, and it's also more reactive and easier to use if you can just take a photo of what you're seeing in front of you and upload it to Upgrade Essential. We're really trying to push this now, but we have a lot of ideas, of course, also for further developments on the smart membrane. So we have smart ActiFlow. We want to apply this to other applications, make it applicable on other use cases, and on upgrade performance plants. So I haven't mentioned that earlier, but it was the third example that I gave yesterday. They're working on a sewer solution.
Yeah.
On Upgrade Essential, we want to also work on the languages, that everything is translated correctly for our international customers.
Pretty cool.
Nice roadmap.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mareike, for being our guest. It was a pleasure to have you here. And thanks for the insight. I wish you most of luck. Have a safe trip back to Paris, because that's where you live.
Yes.
And yeah, see you hopefully very soon.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.